What is going on YouTube? My name is Bancroft. Thank you for tuning in. And today we have another Star Wars matchup. Today we have the Grand Inquisitor taking on Boba Fett. Little red blue taking on lemon lime. Yeah, let's get into it. Also, there's buttons, links down below. If you enjoy the content, let me know. Alright, so we haven't seen Grand Inquisitor, I think, on the channel. So we have an action which deals 2 damage to a friendly unit with 3 or less power, and you get to ready that unit. Pretty good synergy with some cards. You'll see that effect happen in this match, which is actually pretty cool. Once deployed, which you do need 6 resources. On attack, you may deal 1 damage to another friendly unit with 3 or less power and ready it. So it's not bad there. The Grand Inquisitor player is playing the blue 25 base, which has the security complex, which has the epic action, give a shield token to a non-leader unit. And Lemon Line Boba, you got the when an enemy unit leaves play, you may exhaust this leader if you do ready a resource. And on the deploy side, when this unit completes an attack, if an enemy left played this phase, raid 2 resources, and playing with the energy conversion lab, getting that nice little ambush epic action out of the way if needed. So we got our first couple plays going on here, which is the inferior 4, which just allows you when play and when defeated, you can look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put any number of them at the bottom of the deck, and put the rest at the top in any order. Really great synergy, just kind of finding the cards you want to keep in your hand, or sorry, the cards you want to draw, and seeing the ones that are not going to be important in this match at all. Boba Fett playing Crafty Smuggler, which is a nice little 2/2 that comes in play with a shield token on it. Going into the regroup phase, kind of figuring out what to do from here on out. There is a lot of plays. I've seen a couple of lemon lime builds. I haven't seen much on the Inquisitor side. And it looks like the Inquisitor's getting a little bit of lead, but took a quick slowdown. Oh, hang on. There he goes, yeah. The Boba Fett hasn't played their resource yet, so kind of getting a little too hasty out there. It happens. I've done it before myself, actually. I thought that my opponent had played a resource, and they hadn't yet. So we got a Death Trooper coming out, which when played, deal 2 damage to a friendly ground unit. Ooh. He would have to do that damage to himself, unfortunately. So that is a misplay. But in exchange, you deal 2 damage to a enemy ground unit. So he used it to get rid of the shield. It is a misplay, but it happens. We have the Crafty Smuggler kind of swinging into the Grand Inquisitor's base, which, starts off to 2 points of damage to at least somebody, and getting a nice little 2 damage back the other side. So we're still staying at a kind of an even pace right here. We got Boba Fett over here paying 3 resources for the 7th Fleet Defender, which also comes into play with a shield token, which is kind of nice. Grand Inquisitor is using their action to restand Death Trooper. Like I mentioned, this was a misplay, but we're going to continue going as it is. Allowing them to restand, the Boba Fett player taking initiative, and then Inquisitor dealing 3 more damage to their base. And we're going into the regroup phase here. We're going to get to draw 2 more cards and place a resource down. Let me know in the comments if these are decks you guys have played or what your takes are so far on the set. And I do have another video I want to set up, which will talk about set 2 stuff, because we got all the 4 keywords explained to us, which is kind of nice. All right, so now we're into phase 3. Waiting on, got paying 1, 2, paying 3 resources. Yes, to play down Boba Fett, which is a 3/5 on attack. If this unit if this unit is attacking an exhausted unit didn't interplay this round, deal 3 damage to defender, which is really good for kind of getting that additional pressure out there. Grand Inquisitor will just, swing to 3 into their base. He's trying to apply that early pressure. And we got a quote-unquote trade. 7th Fleet is losing its shield token to take out the inferior 4, which allows Boba Fett players to restand one of his resources, which is or ready one of his resources, which is fantastic. Helps with the additional pressure. So with 4 open resources, Grand Inquisitor is deciding what to do in this moment. I think there's a kind of slight fear that they're going to lose their Death Trooper this turn. So I think he's trying to figure out. We see what he's looking at right now is a Fallen's lightsaber. Can't see the other ones. But he is paying 3 most likely. Yeah, he's paying 3 for the Fallen lightsaber, which cannot be attached to a vehicle. So attached to a non-vehicle unit. If attached to a Force unit, it gains an additional effect, which Death Trooper is not a Force unit. But what is so good about this is that it makes it a +3/+3, which puts Death Trooper at a 6/4 currently. And in the audio, both the players said, okay, that changes what I have to do. And they expend a surprise strike just to do the trade, which surprise strike gives a +3/+0, making that Crafty Smuggler a 5/2. Grand Inquisitor's taking the initiative, and we go into the regroup phase once more. And this is a phase where Boba Fett can make his appearance, where the Boba Fett is a on 5 deploy. Grand Inquisitor still needs to do one more turn. Just needs to just either hold off or just apply pressure in ways that makes Boba Fett have to play differently, more or less. We got 2 coming out for a Scout Bike, Scout Bike Pursuer. Wow, I cannot talk. It's a 1/4 with grit, so pretty much the more damage it takes, the stronger it becomes. And Boba Fett just responding with a Bosk, which has ambush, and then when you play an event, you deal 2 damage to a unit. Pretty much just doing that 4 damage directly towards it, getting it out of the way. And this is a great spot for the Boba Fett player, because now they've maximized the leader's undeployed side, and now when they deploy an attack, they can also resend 2 more energy. Grand Inquisitor has played Fifth Brother, which is a 2/4, and this unit gains raid 1 for each damage on him. So the more damage he acquires, the stronger his attacks become. Unlike Grit, which is like a permanent thing, this is just when attacking. And then on attack, you deal 1 damage to this unit and 1 damage to another ground unit. So yeah. And Grand Inquisitor has a way of restaining that Fifth Brother this turn too if they wanted to. And the Boba Fett player is just kind of swinging into the base here. Grand Inquisitor did take the initiative this phase. No, he didn't. I'm just getting a little hasty on myself. I guess he passed, or I looked away. I don't. But yeah, so he used his action to ready the Fifth Brother, which now makes Fifth Brother a 4/2, and then on attack will become a 5/1. That will deal another damage to something else. And this is where we get to an interesting spot. In this particular moment, the Boba Fett player is kind of assessing what's the best solution here. Because I think they were going to deploy their leader, but the Grand Inquisitor player has currently, I think I heard, no cards in hand, or 1 card in hand. And if he deploys his leader, which is a 4/7, the Fifth Brother could just attack straight into it, making it be 6 straight damage to Boba Fett player, which I don't think he wants. So he ultimately decided to actually pass this turn. And Grand Inquisitor player, like he's just kind of reading over the skill right now. Oh, so in the audio, he is discussing kind of like clarifying the order of operations, making sure that he could get the minus effects first and then get the attack. And yes, that is how it works. You deal the damage to it, you deal the damage to another unit, and then you get the attack off. And he pings the Boba Fett for 1 damage, and then ultimately swings the other 5 damage into the energy conversion lab. which I think was a little bit confusing to the Boba Fett player because he thought he was just going to do a trade. And if what I've gathered, that's not really the Grand Inquisitor's play style. At least the guy who's piloting the deck, he tends to be someone who likes to just aggro that base as much as possible. But he was trying something unique with this particular week. We got the Boba Fett coming out and play now. Which, keep in mind, when Boba Fett attacks, he will get to resand 2 resources. Or when he completes an attack. And we have the Grand Inquisitor player, I think, taking initiative at this moment. So we got the attack going off. Gets resanded 2 resources. Because he is attacking into the fifth brother. Which, like I said earlier, grid's different than raid. So it only does the 2 damage to Boba Fett instead of the 5 damage. And we end the phase there, going to the regroup. Get to draw 2 cards, add another resource, and now we go into a 6 resource turn where Grand Inquisitor can come out now. The question is, even though the Grand Inquisitor player is kind of in lead when it comes to health, the Boba Fett player is establishing a board, which can be very annoying if not dealt with. So we do need to see how the Grand Inquisitor player takes these couple of next actions. So he's just okay. So we got another Fallen Saber, a Seventh Sister, and I cannot see the other card. We're paying 1, maybe 2, 3, 4. We're playing for the Fifth Sister. Okay. So Fifth Sister does have Saboteur, which is kind of nice. Gets past Shield and also Sentinel, which right now doesn't mean anything. But when this unit deals combat damage to an opponent's base, you may deal 3 damage to a ground unit that the opponent controls, which once again goes really good with the Grand Inquisitor because you can just hit it for 2, restand it, then it can attack at the base, deal 3 damage to a ground unit, and then as long as the Seventh Sister stays on board, you deploy the leader, attack with it, deal 1 damage to her, and have her attack again. But I do not think the Boba Fett player wants the Seventh Sister staying on the board. And Seventh Sister only is a 3/6. So we got a shoot first happening with, I think, Bosk. Yeah. Making Bosk a 6/5. Or I guess in this case 6/4. So Bosk will turn around and take 3 damage, making him go down to 1 health. But he clears out the Seventh Sister here, so that way the Grand Inquisitor player cannot use her at all this phase. And we got the Grand Inquisitor coming out deployed finally. Which the on attack isn't really that great right now because he has no units to use it with. The Boba Fett player is doing a very good job kind of just controlling the board space before going in with their attacks to the base. We got 1 resource. Oh no, it was already, yeah. So paying 2. And if I remember, we're doing first strike. Yeah, first strike. So it gives a +3 to oh. Oh, okay. So fun interactions. I thought he attacked. I said he attacked with Bosk earlier. Sorry, completely forgot the way this worked. He attacked with Boba Fett, making Boba Fett a 4, but using Bosk's ability to do an extra 2 damage, which he did that again on this attack. So he first strike, making Bosk gain 3 points of damage, which turned Bosk into a. I swear he said in the video he said 7, but I think that would make him. So yeah, it does make him a 7. Yes, Bosk is naturally a 4, and then doing an additional 2 more points of damage, which didn't really matter because the Grand Inquisitor is only a 3/6 when deployed. All right, there we go. Ending the phase up, we have the Star Viper coming out in play and regrouping. And there's not a lot we could do from here on out. It does look like the Grand Inquisitor is in a bad spot. They are playing a system patrol craft, which does have Sentinels at 3/4, so kind of keeping those airways empty. So we got a 3/3 and I think it's a 2 something. Oh no, it's a 3/2. So the Boba Fett player will have to spin both the attack space attacks into the patrol craft just to get through there. So he's now side attack with the ground units instead, and got some beefy ones. Got a 4, got a 3, and got another 4 as well. Giving a shielded token to the. There isn't much options there, but keeping that alive a little bit longer. And now we're just 2 points away, and unless he has a way of kind of putting something out there with Sentinel or switching the Boba Fett into exhaust, that might be game. And from what I'm seeing, it doesn't look like he has much anyways. So yeah, he just plays a 5th brother and accepts defeat. That does conclude today's video. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks. Bye.